Hello, hockey hysterics, and happy belated Halloween. We have reached the first month anniversary of the 2017-18 NHL season. That means there's a lot of discussion around teams right now, which teams have surprised, which teams have not, which players have been good, and which are still in a drought. And all that conversation at this point in the season is completely meaningless. But nevertheless, let's talk about the 5 teams that actually impressed us so far this year. Take everything here with a grain of salt. Some teams might be actually better than what they presume to be right now, and some teams might actually be on a hot start that end up being trash. So right now, top 5 teams that are impressive. At number 5, I kind of mocked this team at the beginning of the season. I said they weren't going to make the playoffs. They're too old, they're too slow. They just weren't on the pedestal that they used to be on. The Vancouver Canucks. They are right now 6-4-2. 14 points in 12 games is not that bad. The Sedins still look like they're young. Thomas Vanek has kind of gotten to a groove with them. And Bo Horvat continues to impress and grow in his areas. A huge surprise for me would be the goaltending. Markstrom is actually doing decent right now. When I saw this team, they had the worst goalie I thought in the entire NHL. Even worse than Vegas, even worse than Colorado, who were dead last. They had a backup goalie as a starter. This is like the Toronto Maple Leafs deja vu for this team, except for they're actually doing well right now. But the Leafs used to do well and tank. Will this happen with Vancouver as well? I'm kind of feeling it. They're currently in the first wildcard spot. Will that sustain? Again, grain of salt, but I don't think so. I think there's other teams that are going to come up. I think there's too much competition that they can't compete with. Nonetheless, they have surprised with the start, and I hope they can continue to get better. Next on the list, I have the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado was dead last year. They were so bad. It was pathetic. There was huge Duchesne talks. There was pretty much Joe Sakic get out of town talks, not biting on trades, not making great acquisitions, not getting draft picks. Just very limited plays being done by Sakic. Limited trades, limited free agency. But this team has actually surprisingly good record right now. In 12 games, they are 7-5-0. 14 points. That's pretty good. 14 points in the Central Division. Just think about that. Chicago and all those teams. 14 points, and they are third in the Central. They're ahead of Chicago right now. And that's impressive. McKinnon's doing well. Varlama's back in his groove. And Yakupov is actually a decent hockey player right now. He's kind of ignited this spark with the Colorado Avalanche. And I hope this is a turning point for the team because I really admire the team in general. I watched McKinnon and juniors as he played for the Halifax Mooseheads. I loved the way he played. I just hope he can mature into something even greater than what he is right now. I hope this team can make a big step forward. I hope they can make a big turnaround. I hope Landeskog can accelerate the team as a captain. I just hope the best for this team right now. They made the playoffs one year, so can they do it again? I'm kind of feeling that they can. I'm kind of feeling that this team can do it. I don't know why. I just have this epiphany about this team that they can jump from one step to the next. And we'll have to see at the end of the year if I'm right or wrong. Bouncing ahead in this list and in the standings, we have the Winnipeg Jets. Scheifele just came off a hat trick against the Dallas Stars. And Wheeler is doing a great job as a captain right now. In the role, he has taken the team by the horns and pushed them up in the standings. Goaltending, they've been decent. And Laine, he's really on a streak right now, really struggling, kind of in a sophomore slump. But I think if he starts to turn it on, this team will increase in points and make a playoff spot. Now, this team, the next team on this list, is getting so much hype, but I'm not feeling it. But they still surprised me. That team is Vegas, the Vegas Golden Knights. Huge publicity from the draft, huge publicity from the NHL, huge publicity from everybody right now. But I don't think that they're a solid team to actually continue this. But I'm going to tell you what impressed me. They have a 4th string goaltender right now. They haven't won a game with him yet, I should say. But even the 3rd string Dansk has won games. James the real deal Neil, because he's proven that he's the real deal, is pushing this team to another level. and a whole bunch of no names are just doing so well. Like, when did you ever see England do well in a team like Calgary? I mean, he's just in his spot right now. He's where he's living right now. He's all in Vegas, and he's just loving life right now. And he's producing points. He's producing great defensive work, and the team is just rallying around it. But grain of salt, I don't see this team continue on this mojo that they have to actually make a playoff spot. I just don't. A lot of people will speculate that they are a great team. A lot of people will say, oh, this is going to be a great story. They're going to make the playoffs. I don't see it. I don't see enough talent on this team to actually win. Like, the only two people I can see on this team that are actual contenders or can make this team great would be James Neal and Marc-Andre Fleury, one of who is injured. And when Neal goes on a slump, who's going to score for the team? There's a lot of trade talks about Vegas dealing people, but I mean, all it is right now is a huge mess of a team just shipping out people and getting draft picks in. And they're a new team. They're rebuilding. I mean, don't put all your chips in one place. I mean, kind of funny with Vegas and all. But this is just my opinion. This team might actually turn it up and surprise me even more to make the playoffs. If they do, that's very impressive. I would not expect that in the least. I'll be even more surprised than I am now. But the team, I don't think can make the playoffs, but still, right out of the gate, that is impressive for an expansion team. Coming in at number 1 on my list here, this team is just on fire. It is the New Jersey Devils. They are so fast. They are so well organized, and they don't play the trap style anymore. They generate offense, they play as a team, and their goaltending Corey Schneider is playing really well. Nico Hischier and the Speed Demons are in control of the puck, and when they're not, Corey Schneider is there to back them up. I personally thought Nico Hischier was supposed to go down and get developed before he can make the NHL. Boy, has he proven me wrong. Their entire team and him is so fast. They're controlling the game like it's nothing, and they're just on pace for an incredible season. Best record yet in franchise history to start out a season at 9-2. This team is just so dynamic, and I think that they can keep it up and make the playoffs. They're just so well organized. They don't have veterans on the team per se, but they're just such a great rounded team that they can just push teams to the limits and win games like it's not a problem. So my prediction, I think New Jersey's going to make the playoffs this year. Watch out for them. So what do you guys think? Do you think that these teams are impressing you? Do you think there's another team that should be on this list that has impressed you? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to smash that like button. All right, guys, have a great day.